Boom. Hey people. Hey internet. Ooh, I varied from my. I did a variation of my intro. Anyways, hello internets. I've been wanting to do this video. It's probably come up a little bit once or twice. If I consult with someone that's like starting from scratch, which is kind of rare. Usually you're already kind of started on a brand, but I do love speaking to someone who just knows that they want to do it. And want like a bare bones like starting from scratch setup, because you don't get into bad practice right off the bat, right? So I was speaking to somebody about their brand names, and we were talking about brand names, and this is right up there with trademarking and all of that. What I want to say for this dedicated video is, sometimes people will send me a list like, oh, I have these 3 names, what do you think about them? And my blanket answer is, it doesn't matter what I think, because there's names that I think are not that dope that do really well. There's brands that I don't like the aesthetic of how the apparel looks, but they do millions of dollars, right? So, but that's, it's a mix of personal and professional, right? Like, this example I always say all the time. Ben and Bobby, when they were starting Hundreds, they came by to my apartment. This is like early in the 2000s, and they obviously hadn't started the online magazine, which then turned into the brand. And they're doing a million things right now. They're doing very well. Very happy for both of them. But they said, "Hey, what do you think about this name, The Hundreds?" And I was like, it's all right. That was my answer to it. But now, as this is post dating, it's super relevant brand. They've done amazing things with it, and so I personally wouldn't have chose that for a brand to start off at the time. But you can make it into something, into whatever you want. And I'm sure you have brands where you're like, oh, I hate that name, but man, they do really well. You have to respect the game, business wise, on a business level. So on that note, the only thing I do want to say is, don't make sure the name of your brand isn't pigeonholing you, is not kind of keeping you captive to a certain audience. There was a brand once called, I always use this example, but it was called Long Beach Gear or something, like Long Beach Wear or something. And it's like, my immediate example for that is, no one in London is waiting for you to drop a new delivery of Long Beach wear, because it's literally a specific city in a specific state in the United States. Now, obviously, if you did Los Angeles or New York, which is a major market, it's a little bit different. But I personally still would keep it something broad. I've said this before about naming your brand, so I'll probably put an attachment to that video about coming up with an original word so you don't get into trademark issues. But yeah, I am a fan of putting an original word together or combination of words. I would not touch anything trendy. Whatever is post-dating, or no, actually, for whenever you're watching this, whatever the word is for cool, for anything from teens to like early 20s, I wouldn't use it for the inside of the name of a brand, like whatever that is. Just keep it an entity that can change and expand. I know a couple of brands that have rebranded their identity and pivoted several times. So you just want to make sure it's something that can be universal, right? So maybe your goal is not to be an internationally known, like, massive brand, massive multi-million-dollar brand, and that's fine. But you still just want to have the opportunity for people to work with you, for other companies to collaborate with you, etc. Make sure it's something that can grow and pivot, because you could start off with a clothing company, and maybe it's the opposite of the Hundreds, where you start off clothing and it becomes an online entity. There's a million different scenarios where it could be. So it doesn't matter if I like the name per se. You gotta like the name, but I would just make sure on a functional level that it doesn't pigeonhole you to a city, a time when that word is cool, and that sort of thing. And again, I'm a fan of just kind of making up a word or making up a combination of words for the name of your brand. Hope that helps. Anything to add to the conversation? If you guys want, you could put the name of your brands below. That might be cool. People could like comment it or whatever. Or if there's something else you want me to talk about, drop it all down below. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.